First of all, let me say hello to everybody. Glad to see you.
Good to see you, Evan.
Glad to be seen. Somebody asked me the other day if I was just as excited this year as I was in the years past, and I can honestly say just as much. I don't know if it can be any more than it's ever been, because I enjoy what I do, enjoy this group of young men. We've got a good mixture in the fact that we have a few seniors, but we have some experienced juniors and sophomores, and our pitchers, certainly when you have the starting rotation back, you've got to feel good. But along those lines, where we're ranked by a number of publications is exciting. That's good. We want Florida State put in those positions, but we haven't played a game yet. We've got to keep our feet on the ground. We've got to understand that the game can turn on you in a heartbeat. Look what happened to us last year. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. Y'all all know what happened to us last year. But thank God at the end of the year, we had everybody healthy, and then all of a sudden good things started happening to us. I could name 2 or 3 games at the end of the year that you're looking at there saying, how in the world did they win that ball game? But it's just something that baseball provides for all of us. There's no clock. You got to run the ball out. You just never know.
Getting Tyler to come back, how did that kind of change the complexion of what this team would look like and what you're able to do?
I think many people don't realize the value that Tyler Holton brings to our team, not only as a pitcher, but leadership. He's a winner through and through. He wants to play some first base. He will play some first base. He probably won't play as much as he wants to play, but he is a guy that wants to be out there every day helping his team win a ball game.
Who will he share duties with at first base when he's not playing first? Who do you expect to have?
Red Applin will be the likely candidate to replace him when he's pitching. We looked at some other guys, and certainly we've got Kyle Cavanaugh, who has been in our program and understands what we're trying to do. Great teammate, by the way. He's also available to play first base, but it would be Red Applin first.
If it's a day that Tyler's not pitching or playing first, is there a chance that he would be the DH?
Absolutely. We would use him some as a DH, not saying if he pitches a night game and then the next day we wouldn't probably play him at first base, but we would DH him. There's always that possibility. He brings a lot to the table when he shows up.
Who stood out in right field? That's kind of the spot. It might be a little more open than the other two.
Well, Stephen Wells has continued to improve, and that's a little bit unusual for a senior. Sometimes a senior levels off. Stephen's gotten a lot better from an offensive standpoint. Always been a very good defensive player. But Reese Albert, the freshman, has played very well out there. Anxious to see how he does as we get into this, and being able to practice now in a normal fashion certainly gives guys opportunities to show what they can do, and I'm anxious to see how Reese Albert adapts to this type of baseball.
At short, there's two new guys fighting for the position. What have you been seeing from them, and kind of what advantages do they bring to this team?
Well, I like to be honest and say that there's a battle going on, but I would have to say that right now Salvatore is the leading candidate, but Cooper Swanson has been very impressive. Cooper has a tremendous upside. He's a strong kid, and if he continues to get better, there are other spots that you might see him. I mean, he's a right-handed hitter. We have a number of outstanding left-handed hitters that sometimes are neutralized by lefties. And let's just hope that Cooper continues to improve, and you never know, he could play a couple of other positions, or who knows, DH against a lefty if he is showing us what we think he is capable of doing.
What kind of progress has Cole made in the offseason? Cole Sands?
You don't have enough time for me to answer that.
I got all the time.
I'm telling you, he has jumped as much, if not more, in 1 year than any pitcher I've ever coached. This guy is fun to watch. I think the experience he had this summer did him a lot of good. I think that his dedication to getting stronger in the weight room, Seth Deiters has done a great job right there beside him, working, making him work, and he's really into being the best he can possibly be. He has been very impressive, both in the fall and certainly now as he continues to work to get better.
How about Parrish? What has he been looking like?
Parrish seems to be stronger. Certainly, a lot of times that happens. Sometimes when you have success as freshmen, you don't work hard enough your sophomore year. You think you got it made, and then of course that sophomore approach doesn't exactly work. He hasn't shown us that at all. He's worked very hard. Every time he's been out there on the mound, he's really worked hard. He's a guy that, as of right now, will certainly be one of our rotation guys.
And Carp may be a midweek guy. Is there any other names in the pot there?
Carp pitched very well the last time he was out there, and he's setting up right now to be the midweek guy. Still, a lot of us coaches are going back and forth on who we're thinking about closing with, and certainly Carpy has pitched very well, and you want to get those guys out there as much as possible. You don't want to sit there and so-called saving when something might be on the line on a very important weekend series. So there's still some things up in the air as to how Carpy will be used. The only thing I can guarantee you is he will be used, and used a lot, whether it's as a starter or a reliever.
Yeah, when some of the players, I know you don't bring it up, I'm sure, but some of the players said they've already talked to each other about the record and the possibility of getting that mark this year. How do you approach it? Do you walk away if they start talking about it, or how do you handle it?
I don't want anything taken away from the players. The program is about the players. It's not about me. Yeah, I want the doggone record. I ain't gonna sit here and hide that and say, oh, it doesn't mean anything to me. Dadgum. We all want to be the best we can be. And it's not gonna be an easy thing. But the last thing I want is for those guys to leave this dugout and go out there on the field and think they got to win this one. I'll never forget when we were approaching 1,000. And dadgum, we got excited as a team, too excited. We played Miami that weekend. They said, sweep you very much. And we ended up saying, holy smoke, now we got a very good team coming in here, and we won on Tuesday night. But we have to be very conscious of the fact that the game is the most important, not the record. Play the game right. Play the game hard. Don't put any added pressure on yourself.
Coach, just what have you seen from this team? The guys talked about going to Omaha and getting there and using it kind of as motivation. Have you seen that from them, and just kind of that hunger that they got there, but they want a whole lot more?
This is a good group of young men. I wouldn't expect anything less than those goals. Our guys know what it takes. We know that it takes some luck. Last year, another classic example. I mean, it takes some luck. These guys have worked hard. Let's hope that luck, along with preparation, gives them that opportunity.
After last year and all the stuff he dealt with before the year even started, how much of a difference does it make for Drew Mendoza to have the healthy fall, the healthy spring?
It's just great to see him out here healthy. He's played very well. Drew looks real good. We just got to be sure that we put the right guy around him, because that's what has helped hitters like Buster Posey and J.D. Drew and DJ Stewart. We had guys that protected them. We need to be sure we got people that protect Drew.
Coach, going back to the pitchers, Cole, Tyler, and Austin kind of make that Tallahassee trifecta. Just how unique is that, and how have they kind of fed off each other, knowing that they grew up playing with each other?
I tell you, those guys have been impressive. I've already talked about Cole, but Austin is growing every time he goes out there. You can see him grasping what Coach Bell is trying to get across to him, and it's really fun to see them compete. Holton and Sands compete every time they go out there. It would be fun one day to put them against each other in a 7-inning game, but I ain't about to do it.